Munchkins and viewers alike, it's me Munchie, and I have made this video probably over 10 times. I have been having a lot of anxiety and I'm getting very depressed when I make this video, and I'm very, very sorry. As you guys are all aware, I have previously talked about what's going to happen with my rescue in the YouTube channel in a previous video, talking about candles and battery land and this event that is currently happening here because we have to use code names. So please check out that video before you check out this video. I want to try to keep this video at 10 minutes, but it's been going way over, hence why I've had to create this like 10 times and I've spent over an hour on it. But there's also a lot of depressing stuff, and when I get to the depressing parts and the frustrations, things like that, you guys might relate, but I start shutting down. I don't know how to address it on the camera in a very bubbly and happy way when honestly it's just been a really big hurdle to get through. And of course we have the event that is currently happening right now that is causing the whole thing to kind of spiral downwards, and what we're so used to and financially used to and things like that, it's being divided, it's being put off, it's being spent, it's just, there's a lot. So of course you guys probably, you know, have a job, or maybe your parents have a job if you are too young to have a job, and you see they're stressing over what is happening, either being laid off or maybe being an essential worker. But having to manage and budget stuff has been very hard. So I have an update to the unemployment that I was talking about before. I was denied unemployment, but turns out that was an error. Yes, I am approved for standby, but unfortunately at this point, no one, not even my friends, have been paid by unemployment yet. And unfortunately, they selected for unemployment, how much I get paid. They selected a time last year where I was in the process of moving and had lost my second job and was moving, so I didn't have to work that much during those months because it took a lot of effort to get everything packed up and to get everything moved away from the place that we originally were at. So my hours dropped. And so unfortunately, they base my pay for unemployment during those times, so it was very, very low for that period they selected. So of course, when I do get unemployment, which is supposed to be a weekly thing and it hasn't happened yet, it's still impending because of the overload of everybody, I am not going to be getting that much for unemployment. So I have to manage, because of course everybody out there has rent to pay, or maybe a mortgage to pay, or people have to pay credit cards, car payments, cell phone bills, internet bills, lots of stuff, subscriptions. And I feel really bad too for subscriptions where it's a base price of like $20, $30, or $40, and now those companies are seeing a dip because they are not essential and people have to cancel their subscription. Oh, Netflix, here we go. Netflix, HBO, Disney Plus. You gotta invest differently now because of what's been happening. And of course, because I have a job outside of YouTube and I am a YouTuber making my own videos and editing them and putting them up, and I also have a rescue, and I also have responsibilities at home with my animals, because I have animals besides the animals that I rescue. I have just unfortunately put so much burden on top of my head that I was doing pretty okay until what was essentially probably the downfall of my rescue. But I just want to say before we start shifting over to the rescue aspect of it, that since I am getting my unemployment benefits eventually, I am probably going to go back down to just making 2 videos a week on YouTube. And at this point, it might not be Sunday or Monday. It could just be Monday, Tuesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. But I'm going to jump back down from 5 videos a week to 2 videos a week now that I know that I am officially on standby until further notice, which I might not even be going back to work until June. So with that being said, now you guys know that the YouTube money that we were going to be making used to go just directly into the rescue, but unfortunately now it has to financially support me at home. And thankfully I'm happy that I am able to put off my rent bill and just have to keep track of it and owe my rent at a different time, because it's the beginning of April now and everybody has stuff that's due. But unfortunately I still have credit cards and like vet bills that I have to pay off, and that is where I want to get into now. The rescue is currently in recovery mode, and it's not because of the events that are happening, it's because of how draining the rescue has become. So you guys know, for me, if there is a problem with an animal, we take them to the vets. We always take them to the vets, unless it is something that is very minor that can just be observed to see if it will go away. But usually a lot of the these medical emergencies are because of underlying health conditions that you cannot physically see until you start exhibiting symptoms. So that's the thing that we've just been having to deal with especially the Sailor Moon litter. I am constantly bringing that up because that was one of the most financial burdens I have ever had to deal with. If you guys are aware, all of the YouTube money would go into the rescue to just kind of financially take care of it, to make sure that we're getting bedding, we're getting supplies, we're getting chew toys, new hides, because of course these small animals are rodents and they like to chew with their incisors, and their incisors are constantly growing, so there is things that you constantly have to be replacing and bringing in new stuff and getting them the right size wheel and etc, etc. But these guys, because of their expectancy, their life expectancy is so small that of course they have problems within like maybe a couple months that you've had them for. But of course, since the rescue takes in all age ranges, there could be some animals that come in very old and end up passing away due to complications we had no idea about, or there's animals that are going to be at our rescue for a long period of time and they slowly develop over time some complications. And because these animals only live 1, 2 to 3, maybe even 4 years, Roborovskis can live quite long, so if we have a Robo, that guy could be living for a while. It's just something that we have kind of tried to prepare for. So I had to set aside emergency funds, and unfortunately for the last 4.5 to 5 months, we've been going to the vets nonstop, to the points where my vets are telling me, hey, we don't want to see you anymore, we love you, but we don't want to see you, please don't see us anymore. As just like, good luck, hopefully everything works out, because they know how financially draining this all was. And of course, when we had multiple losses of animals, including some that were not even a part of the Sailor Moon litter, like Chunky Monkey with her lung tumor that unfortunately grew and ended up, costing her life in the end, or with Sugar, which was the gerbil intake, where the owner probably did not realize, because she didn't have him for that long, that the gerbil is not fat. The gerbil is literally having a medical emergency, and now we have to financially take care of it. And unfortunately, she had to be put down because nothing healed. She had kidney failure that just kept going, and it got worse, and she was suffering, and we had to put her down. But thankfully, Cinnamon found a nice loving home with another Sugar gerbil, surprisingly enough the same name, and we were very happy for her. But there's been a lot of financially burdening issues here, and the rescue is just kind of going through a really, really big and long rough patch. So the rescue is going to financially have to recover from this because it's just been constant. Like, the number one issue we have right now is Serenity. Mama Serenity, she had a UTI that she recovered from, gained her weight back, stopped drinking so much water. It came back within 2.5 weeks, 2 to 2.5 weeks. And we went in and we had a culture, and the culture showed bacteria. And so we sent it off to the lab to see what grew. And unfortunately, we spent $142 to have another test come back as negative or inconclusive because the sample size was way too small. So probably that's why, even though there was stuff that was seen in the microscope at the vets at the time before they sent it off, indicating there is a problem, because of course Serenity has lost so much weight again, and she's drinking 3 ounces of water a day. That is insane. If you have like a 3 to 4 ounce little water bottle, like the Bell bottles at PetSmart, what? And that should not be going through that much. And no, it's not leaking. It literally is her urinating it all out, because I have to clean up her spot, and you can literally see it when it grows bigger and bigger, and you can monitor it, because I've monitored these guys. But unfortunately, she is not doing well. We got her on 2 different medications. Her first medication, unfortunately, she built up resistance to. So she wasn't recovering on that medication, so we happened to get another medication that she's still currently on. She's still got a little bit of time left on that one, but unfortunately, again, she's not recovering. She's not recovering. So we are going to have to take her in to the vets again. And as you can see, it's just a lot. There's just a lot of responsibility kind of like being put on me at this time, where we did not predict that we were going to have a litter of pups have hereditary heart disease. But we had Mama Serenity checked out. We got her a second round of x-rays to make sure there was nothing wrong. There was nothing wrong physically that they could see inside of her. And it's tiring. This is the point where I start shutting down, where it's it's so much to talk about. But I hope you guys are understanding that, of course, we're just not going to let an animal suffer. We're going to do all that we can for them. And so everything's paid out of pocket or through private donations via you guys. So thank you so much for that, or to our supporters on Instagram, because that's usually the only place where we will post this information. I'm not going to share it in videos like this. If you guys really want to help, those are the places to go to. But I think for the rescue, when this event lifts and everybody can go back to hopefully normal, that the rescue might only be in adoption mode, meaning we are not going to intake any animals unless it's maybe a dire need emergency. But the rescue unfortunately has to financially repair, because we need to build up that emergency money again, and we also need to pay off the current vet balance that we currently owe. And of course, now that I have to use YouTube money and the unemployment money to keep myself afloat here now, you can see how conflicting it is. And a lot of people think that, like, YouTubers, especially if they see really high numbers, that they are going to be getting a lot of money, and unfortunately that's not really the case unless the video is doing absolutely well or the video is very long and everybody's watching. People just don't understand that YouTube back in 2013, 14, 15, at like the height of it all, you're not gonna see stuff like that. Those paychecks you're not gonna see for people today, because it's just not the same anymore. Ever since the advertisements got pulled from YouTube because they didn't want to have their ads alongside, say for instance, the biggest guy on YouTube that really done goofed it for all of us here, because he is kind of at the forefront and everybody's watching him. And of course, like, if they see him, they think that we're all like that. So it just became this problem where everybody on YouTube started to struggle, and I don't really consider myself a really big YouTuber. And so I just don't like the whole stigma of like, oh yeah, YouTubers, if they got the numbers, they got the money. Not necessarily. And it also depends on the content. That is what I just wanted to get out to you guys today, and I hope you understand. And I thank you so much, just because it's just been so hard to try to get this all out without getting too deep or too depressed into this, because it's just been not a fun time. If you are like me, who is an extrovert, and being away from people for a very long time, it kind of starts getting places. I mean, I'm having anxiety, and it's been a while since I've actually had like full-on anxiety attacks. I haven't really had a panic attack in a very long time. Those used to ruin my life in the early 2010s, 2009, 2008, even into 2011. But I don't really have them now. Not really, no. It's only anxiety attacks that I have, so that sucks. And I hope you guys are doing okay out there. So the next thing I just want to say is that if anybody's playing Animal Crossing, of course you guys know that I'm a big fan here. I've always loved Animal Crossing ever since I was a little girl who got it for Christmas, along with our GameCube back then. Oh, the best Christmas ever to date. But if you guys want to invite me to your island, I don't do friend codes. I only do friend codes for my closest of friends and family. But if you do happen to have a dodo code, and if I happen to post on Twitter at the time, if I am asking if anybody wants me to come visit them, just post your dodo code in the comments on Twitter, just because that's where I'm going to be looking. That's where I'm going to be posting Animal Crossing related stuff. Twitter, for me, I don't really like using too much. I mean, it's just kind of like an updated platform where I just, you know, let you guys know my thoughts and how's it going and stuff. But I think I want to be posting a lot of Animal Crossing related content on there now, just because it's a lot of fun to just share with you guys my adventures on Animal Crossing, and hopefully just to socialize with you guys. So if you guys want to do that, let me know, and just leave them down below. I mean, not the dodo codes, because you guys know dodo codes are just generated for that day. Once the gates are closed, you have to generate a new dodo code. Anyways, if anybody wants to give me a dodo code when I asked for it, I would love to come visit you guys in the future. So thank you so much for watching today's video, and yeah, I'm gonna go now. Thank you for understanding. Appreciate it. Love ya. I'm gonna take a break from YouTube probably this week. I am dead tired. I want to relax. I'm stressed. I love you all, and I just hope everybody stays safe and sound. All right? All right. Bye-bye.